Hi guys, welcome to another Life with Bev blog. Not blog, podcast. That's the one. Yes, so thank you for joining in. When is this? Is this the sixth one that I'm doing? My God, 6 weeks I've been doing this. I think this is the longest I've ever stayed committed to kind of anything in my entire life. There is actually quite a bit to talk about. This time around. For starters, I am actually recording this on a Friday. It may well be 3:53 in the morning, but it's still being recorded on a Friday, and that's the main thing that counts with this. Yeah, so the first thing I was going to talk about was to do with the Bev and Ian. I don't know what you call them. Shows on here, I guess. They're obviously uploaded onto this channel, and like I've said in previous videos before, you know, we have such a good time doing them that on Wednesday just gone, we actually recorded 2 videos. Now, one of them was what we called the Friends video, because over the past couple of weeks, basically me, Ian, and the girl that has only ever been seen in one of our videos, when we do Bev and Ian, is like the three of us have basically had problems with another friend of ours recently, and I'm not going to go into the whole, you know, the whole situation and everything like that, but you know, we felt, because there's been, I think over time there's been quite a bit of stuff posted about us on Facebook, and we just got to the point and we were like, well, do you know what, should we actually say something about it, or do we not? And, you know, so I think we just went, well, screw it, okay, let's just do a video, and we're just going to do Sly Diggs. So that's what we did. So we recorded the video, and it is actually quite funny, because we have done a lot of it where we are taking the piss out of ourselves. So yeah, so that was actually quite a good video to make, and that took us, with the filming kind of schedule thing, to the second week in July. And then later on, once our other friend Stevie had gone, me and Ian sat down and we were like, you know, we should record another video, you know, well, we've got the decent webcam and blah, 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 blah. So we recorded a second video, which I think we can only refer to it as our look back video, because it is not only the longest video that we've ever done, but it is an actual, not only is it kind of a look back for us at some of the videos that we have done and that sort of thing, but I think it was a chance for people to actually see exactly how we are, you know, because I think over the course of us having done the videos that we have done, you know, you get to see different sides of us, and get to us saying things and doing things and that sort of thing. But I think it's a chance for people to see the real us. You know, when we've done them videos, for some reason we've always put a camp voice on, and our mannerisms have been a little bit different, but the things that we say and do in the videos are kind of the things that we would say and do in real life. And it's actually been really good just to be able to show people the real us, and hopefully it'll still be liked. But I mean, like I said, it was the longest video that we've actually recorded. The actual recording time for the video that we did was just over half an hour long, and that was literally us two sat in front of the camera, going on and on and on and on. And you know, I keep watching the video back because I really enjoy watching it. It is quite funny, and obviously it's the fully edited version that I'm watching as well, so I'm actually quite enjoying not only having done that video but watching it as well. But I mean, there's quite a few things that we announced in that video that we are already working on. And I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to let the video go live, and it's going to be the 3rd week in July that video is going to go live. And all I can say is we've kind of signed ourselves up to something here that that could well be quite an adventure. I think is the best way for me to say that. But of course, I mean, the other thing with that is, you know, we have to kind of look at what we've done in the past and then look at what we're going to do. I mean, like, how are we actually going to move this forward? You know, if you do something on YouTube for too long that is too much the same, then people grow bored of it. If you change it up too much, people don't like massive change. So it's just kind of finding out, like, where we stand with certain things, you know. Obviously, we want to keep our viewers interested, and we want to have fun while we're doing it at the same time. I mean, all of our videos in the past, we've never actually planned. It's been a case of, you know, one of us will have an idea about doing something, and then we go and do it. So yeah, so that's certainly going to be quite interesting. On how we actually move it forward. I don't know. I mean, there is lots for us to be discussed, but we, in the past couple of days, well, hours, we've actually opened up our Facebook page, so you can actually go and like Bev and Ian. If you want to have fun on the Facebook page, then go to facebook.com/Bev and Ian official. Okay, it's all as like one word. And that'll take you over to our page. And for some reason we are getting loads of likes, and I have no idea why. We clearly must have got a bit of a following with this. But yeah, I mean, one of the main things that we are going to be working on over the next couple of weeks, and I guess it's kind of handy, the fact that we have got so many weeks in advance of the videos that we've done, because it gives us time over the next couple of weeks to start working on Ian's blog. And this is something that we've been talking about doing for quite some time. Ian wants to do a blog which is based on kind of not like makeup tutorials, but kind of like product reviews and skincare, that sort of thing. And excuse me, it is something that we've been talking about doing for quite some time, and I think now is the time that we can actually take a couple of weeks off doing the Bev and Ian videos and go and concentrate on doing that, you know, kind of like working on a new project. And it's not to say that we're giving up on the Bev and Ian videos, because we are far from giving up on them, but yeah, I mean, I think it would be kind of handy to go and work on Ian's videos and, you know, possibly work on them, because the way that we're going to do that, I mean, I've got Life with Bev, I've got Bev Rants, I've got the MBD blog, I've got quite a few things that I'm doing by myself, and then we've got Bev and Ian, which is the two of us working together. And I think it would be beneficial for people to see Ian's videos, you know, for Ian to do something by himself. One of the things that we actually, or that Ian said in the video that we recorded the other night, was that, you know, having done the Bev and Ian videos, it's actually given him confidence, you know, it's helped him to grow as a person, and to the point he actually wants to go and do the videos by himself. So it's something that I will be helping him work with, but I actually won't feature in the videos. We've already said about one of the videos, which is going to be going through man bags and having a look at what's in, and, you know, discussing that sort of thing. And I think that would be quite good fun to do. But obviously, you know, I don't want to feature in all of the videos, or, you know, any more than a few, because, you know, it's kind of the chance for people to see Ian by himself. But maybe I will, maybe I'll still be helping with the editing. I presume I still will. But yes, I mean, that's actually going to be quite a fun project, and I am looking forward to getting started on it. Sorry, do excuse me. I've so many people messaging me at the moment, and I'm trying to do this and keep getting all these pop-ups and everything. Yeah, so I mean, there is a bit of a development with this one as well. because this will be my last podcast aged 24. On Wednesday next week it is my 25th birthday, and well, I mean, I don't actually know what I'm going to be doing with my birthday, and this is kind of like the truth be told. I never know what I'm going to do with my birthday. You know, I think the last one I actually organised was my 21st. Yeah. I organised my 21st and I did it big. On the Friday, we all of us went out for a meal. There was loads of us. And then on the Saturday, there was a few of us that just went out for a night out and went and had drinks and that sort of stuff. And, you know, it's really good and we all enjoyed it and everything like that. But I just kind of got after my 21st and I'm like, well, I don't really know if I want to do anything for my birthday and that sort of stuff. So yeah, so it's always been like other people organising it, or you know, people just coming and seeing me, and we'll go and do something and that sort of thing. I've never actually planned anything, although my friend Sian has, and I think this is one of the years where she hasn't actually organised anything. But it's all just kind of, well, you know, what do you want to do? And I'm just like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's awkward because it's on a Wednesday. So there isn't loads to go and do midweek anyway, but it's also kind of awkward because like this Saturday and the Friday and possibly the Saturday afterwards, I'm working anyway, you know, so it's not like we can say, well, you know, we'll go on a night out the weekend because I'm busy. So yeah, that's going to be kind of fun. Yeah, so speaking of gigs, I actually got kind of a major variety of them all in one weekend last week. Last weekend, for those of you that didn't listen to last week's podcast, it was one of them where I was on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I had the 3 gigs, and I've got to say, it started off great, ended up kind of rubbish. So the Friday night one, the people came in, and we ended up doing loads of party dances, there was loads of games, and it was such a fun atmosphere. And those are the parties that I thrive at. You know, if these people are up for a party, I'm up for giving a party, you know. I'm up for like having fun at a party, and that's what I do. And I really enjoyed doing it. Saturday was kind of a bit bad because there wasn't loads of people there anyway, and it was the 21st. So, I mean, with the 21st, because you've got a mix of people that turn up usually, you know, you've got the rest of the family, you never know musically where to cater to. You know, you try and cater to the 21st person and all their friends, but if they're not doing anything, you'd obviously move on to catering for some of the elder people in the room, you know, so playing like some 70s, 80s music. Nothing was working. I think it ended up that about 11:30 I did a party dance, and that was when people got up on the dance floor, and that was it. You know, these people were just not up for dancing by themselves, and there's not a lot really I can do about that. On the Sunday, we had a christening in, and they'd booked their own child entertainer to come on and do an hour anyway, and yeah, it turns out that it was actually a magician that had done my brother's party when he was like 6 years old or something like that, and I remembered him, so I was talking to him for a little bit, and then obviously he did his hour. But here's how it actually went. So we got told 12 o'clock start, be ready for 12. So right, okay, fair enough. People didn't start arriving until about 12:30, which you're kind of used to anyway, you know, this is the background music playing, it's kind of easy and that. Well, all of the people arrived in, so they opened up the buffet at 1 o'clock. I didn't have to do anything at this point. At 1:30, we literally had a room full of kids running around screaming, and you know how much I hate this, right? So I thought, right, I'm going to have to do something. So we turned up the music a little bit, and, you know, kind of made a bit of a start. 2 o'clock comes, the magician comes on, he does his set. I think he stopped at about 10 to 3 or something like that. It must have been something about that time. So that's when I started back up, and then I think the party actually finished at about 20 to 4. That was it, you know, so there wasn't actually loads for me to do. And the reason that we finished so early is because people just went home. which we found that they normally do. You know, whether I'm doing all the party dances or not, people just don't tend to stay on a Sunday afternoon for a party. So yeah, that was fun. But I mean, I enjoyed the weekend, and it was, you know, it's all been experience, I guess. So there we go. So I guess we've come to that time in the podcast where we talk about the news, and I think we've also come to the time where I need a bit of a drink. So I've kind of been talking for like 15 minutes, and oh, pardon me. I didn't think I'd be burping this week, because I've actually just got orange juice. Well, orange and pineapple if you want to get fancy about it. Okay, so in the news, it is kind of like almost breaking news at the moment here, saying that the US has said that Syria is using chemical weapons. This is something that I have touched upon before in the podcast, if you've listened to any of the previous ones, and that's fair enough. But herein lies the trouble, because America has said these sorts of things before, gone and sent troops over to a country, and then, oh, well, while we're here, we're just going to do this, and we're just going to do that. And it's like, America, will you just fuck off? You know? I mean, don't get me wrong, I know that they want to help, and, you know, Syria is a complete mess at the moment. Like, the situation does need to be stopped, but I think that the US sending troops in is not the way that this is going to be stopped. At all. I'll tell you how I actually think it should be overthrown, but John McCain, who I'm not his biggest fan, and I think as a gay man he's not my biggest fan, but he's actually said the US shouldn't be sending troops over, and I've got to say I agree with the man on this point. You know, it pains me to say it, but I genuinely don't agree with him. I do agree with him on this one. The US sending troops over would be completely the wrong thing. What I think they should do is, I mean, look, you've got the problem here. You've got a government in charge that are using their own army against their own people. That needs to be stopped straight away. The main way for this to be tackled is politically, you know. And this is where, yes, the West should get involved. And we should be going, you know what, the people want you out. And I think if we could get the rebel troops, whatever you call them, if we could get them to, like, kind of sign a deal saying, okay, your war stops if we can get this government out of power. If they would sign something like that, then the West, by all means, I would fully support going in, overthrowing the government, and then sorting the country out and, you know, working with them to fix it up. That I fully agree with, because it brings an end to all of this stuff. Maybe not straight away, but it would eventually. It does seem to be, though, that that's where all of this started. It started with the people not being happy with the government and protesting against it, and then obviously the government retaliated, and these people have retaliated, and then the government stepped it up, and these people have stepped it up, and it's like, well, where's this going to actually end? You know, is Syria going to have to be a mountain of rubble, you know, millions of people dead, and then there's going to be change happening? Like, no, there needs to be change happening. I think it's also quite interesting to also watch the developments in Turkey. Turkey is kind of now becoming one of them grounds where it looks like people are wanting the government out. To be honest with you, I mean, years and years ago I went over to Turkey for a wedding. I think, well, know from having seen it, Turkey is it's a stunning country. It is really, really good looking. Or certainly where I was anyway. I was down at the kind of like the real south end of the country. I've got a friend that lives, I think it's either in or just out of Istanbul, and you know, he says it's different living there, but you know, I think it's kind of one of them. If I was to go over and see his house, I would still be there, like, looking around going, oh my god, this is amazing. I think Turkey is a beautiful country. I think that the people over there, you know, we don't know loads about their way of life, and this is something that I tried to discover when I was over in Turkey myself, and I couldn't really do it because all around the hotel was such a built-up touristy area. You know, you don't really get to know much about Turkish people and that sort of thing. And like even talking to the staff in the hotel, you know, they had staff from Russia, they had staff from Poland, and I nearly ended up becoming one of the staff as well. But anyway, yeah, so all of this trouble that's been happening over in Turkey, you know, we've been seeing it on the news here, and it's been getting debated about and that sort of thing, and you know, you've seen the images as they've been coming out of Turkey, right? But the main thing that we don't understand with this is the fact that part of this trouble has become apparent, because not only of this sleeping protest that the police went in and tear gassed all the people and everything like that, but it's been boiling up for quite some time, because there has been law changes that have happened that have kind of restricted freedom of speech, certainly to do with alcohol as well. You know, so I think it's been one of them. This has been brewing up for quite some time. Now, obviously at first, the people are just wanting the government to back down on these plans to build this whole shopping mall or shopping centre, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's now kind of going into, we're bored of this government. And I think this is where it gets to be a little bit dangerous, because the government, from the video that I viewed the other day, obviously I don't know if the translation was perfect on it, but the government was saying something about the protesters were doing something to damage freedom of speech or something along those lines. The people are protesting. That's kind of under freedom of speech. I don't really know how it's going against freedom of speech, whatever. They were saying that it's damaging to businesses because, you know, shop owners can't open because of all this trouble happening. Well, yeah. You know, certainly if I was a business owner around there, I would be a little bit nervous about opening my business because I don't want to get trashed. But, you know, you've got to look at, well, why are these people protesting, and address that. But this speaker that was out there the other day was going, well, he can't open his shop, and this person can't do this, and and it's like, well, address their problem. You know, don't just ignore it. That's the worst thing that you can do. If Turkey does go into one of them kind of, I don't know how to describe it. If it goes into one of them states where they are saying, okay, enough of this government, we want change to happen, I do have to worry about it falling into Syria. You know, that kind of situation where there is just war. Not only because, you know, I know of people in the country, but, and obviously I like Turkey as a country as well, but it's another thing where it's like, oh my god, another country is going into meltdown with the political system. You know, how many more of these do we need? Like, what is the change that we're actually going after? I also worry about it because I don't want it to become another Syria. You know, we've all watched it. You know, people in Turkey and over here in the UK, we've all seen what Syria has turned into. And can we really cope with another country going into that kind of chaos? I don't think that we can. I honestly hope that this whole thing in Turkey does get resolved. I hope that the government are wise enough to sit up and actually listen to the people of the country and the people in these protests and go, what are they arguing about? Okay, let's talk about making change happen. But as much as I hate to say it, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. The other bit of news that I'm going to touch upon quickly, there was an incident that happened a small while back in Manchester, where there was 2 police officers killed in the line of duty. What had actually happened is they'd received a call of a burglary. I think the original call said it was in progress, so they obviously sent out police officers to go to this property, not knowing that at this property there was a known killer to the police. Now, I can never pronounce his surname. It's Dale, I think it's Cregan or something like that. But they, when it first happened, he launched a gun and grenade attack, and he obviously killed these 2 police officers. And long story short is the police got him. It's actually come up now for his court case. He got sentenced, and someone described it as he will never be freed. And that's not just for doing or killing these 2 police officers in the line of work. It's also because he has been doing other things as well. You know, there's there was, let me have a little look here. He also admitted to the attempted murders of John Collins, Michael Belcher, and Ryan Pridding during the attack on Mark Short at a Droylsden pub in May 2012. He was cleared of a charge of attempted murder on Sharon Hark. You can kind of gather by that. This is kind of one of them men that's been out there causing shit for quite some time. So I'm glad that the police have eventually got him. And as much as I really shouldn't say this, he is one ugly fucking cunt. You know, he's got like an eye. I think it's like a glass eye or something. It's completely black. You know, he looks... he just looks like a general nasty piece of work, and that's kind of what he is, really. But yeah, so I'm just made up the fact that they found him guilty and that someone's turned around and said he'll never be free, because I, to be honest with you, wouldn't really be happy with seeing him out on the streets ever again. But that's just me personally, and you know what I get like with all this kind of stuff. But that's it. So thank you very much for listening this week. I've actually done a long one this week. Well done me. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening, and I will see you guys soon.